Hey guys, this is Miss Latours. We're over here again at the Mount Juliet Library. And if you recall, what we're doing is we're taking a previous lesson that we had recorded months ago. It was a very big lesson, about 45 minutes long, and we're breaking it up into smaller bite-sized pieces. We've done Reasons Why People Came to America. We've done the American Revolution Parts 1 and Part 2. We're going to finish it up today with American Revolution Part 3. Okay? So with all of that said and done, where did we leave off? We had left off where we saw that on July 4th, 1776, the United States, as we were calling ourselves now, the United States issues the Declaration of Independence. We are declaring our independence from England. We're about to go to war with England over this issue of independence. Now, let's just make sure we understand what we're talking about. The United States has no currency. We have no standing army. We have no navy. We've got nothing at all, and we're about to declare war on the world's greatest economic, military, and political power on the face of the whole entire planet. What, are you kidding me? Seems like I've heard this story before. Let me tell you something, folks, okay? The story of David and Goliath has nothing on us because we were fighting a very severe war then. Okay, let's just make sure we remember what the whole thing is all about. Last week we were talking about denial of the profit motive, okay? We came here to America to make money, and now the actions that were being taken by the English government are denying us that ability to make money. Actions like the Proclamation of 1763, the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, the Tea Act, all these things are going to be responsible for Americans not being able to make money. So as a result of that, we're so angry. After the Tea Act, we're going to follow that up with the Boston Tea Party, dumping about $1 million worth of tea into the Boston Harbor. What this is doing is we are now pushing King George III in Parliament so far that I can't see that. They have to react to that. Otherwise, they've lost all control over the English colonies. So in 1774, England issued something that they call the Coercive Acts. Now, the word coercive simply means when you're trying to get somebody to do something that you want them to do. England was trying to get the American colonies to just simply behave. They felt that they wanted them to behave in a civilized manner. The colonists took a look at the Coercive Acts and said, are you kidding me? In America, we called the Coercive Acts the Intolerable Acts because we felt that the actions are just simply intolerable, and the intolerable acts are going to be the final push that's going to cause us to break away and start a new nation. If you get a chance, folks, take a look at the back of a dollar bill. See that pyramid? Underneath the pyramid, it says in Latin, Novus Ordo Seclarium. That's Latin for a new age now begins. And that's what we felt we were doing in 1776 as a result of the Declaration of Independence. We felt that we were now declaring a new age. So what's going to happen is the Intolerable Acts. First thing they're going to do is close down Boston Harbor. Secondly, they are going to abolish the Massachusetts colonial legislature. Any particular Englishman that's ever charged with a crime is not going to be tried in the colonies. Rather, they're going to be put on a boat and they're going to be charged with that crime and put on trial in England. That really ticked off the colonists. And the last thing that the Intolerable Acts is going to do is it's going to bring back the Quartering Act, meaning that the soldiers that they hate are going to be put into their houses, and the colonists are going to have to provide free room and board for these people. The colonists felt, oh, what, are you kidding me? No, we're not going to do this. So what they did is they created something called the First Continental Congress. And the function of the First Continental Congress is going to be to decide What are we going to do? And Ben Franklin put it best. He said at the Continental Congress, look guys, we've got to act together as a group, because at the very least, at least we're going to hang together. If not, we're surely going to hang separately and apart. Let's unify with each other, and even though we're running the risk of being executed, at least we're going to do something. So now if it seems as if the actions that are going to bring about the American Revolution are not just money, but rather it's a collection of all sorts of different things, bingo! You've got the right idea. In addition to things like denial of the profit motive, you've got other actions that are now going to come into play. No taxation without representation. Anger, frustration. Remember, there's a 3-month lag between trying to get something done here in America and that information getting to England and then coming back over here. But perhaps by far and away the most important factor that's going to create the American Revolution is cultural diversity. You see, what's going to happen is when they first started to colonize the New World in 1619, the people coming over were Englishmen. Even though they were living in a new land, they considered themselves to be Englishmen. But now between 1619 and 1776, certain things are going to happen. Whereas at one time, they thought the same. Gradually, they started to think more and more apart. This is what we call cultural diversity. The people living in the colonies, even though they were of English descent, were becoming more and more American and less English. For example, let's take a look at the government. Englishmen accepted the absolute power of the king, absolutism, okay? Whereas here in America, as a result of the different colonial legislatures, we started to think of a democracy as being the better form of government. The social classes, England was run by an aristocracy, and the ability for people in England to change their economic class was virtually non-existent. Whereas in America, we were starting to look more and more at social mobility, the ability of people to change their economic classes, because here in America, you've got all sorts of amazing economic opportunities. Economics, England practiced something that we call mercantilism, where they were trying to control the economy by way of a central authority. Whereas here in America, we were more inclined towards capitalism. Settlements, England was predominantly an urban country, whereas here in the United States, there are very few urban areas. Only places like New York, Philadelphia, and Charleston, and that was pretty much it, guys. We were a rural nation, okay? And finally, political philosophy. In England, they accepted the political philosophy of Thomas Hobbes, meaning that you've got an absolute government, whereas here in the United States, we lean towards the political philosophy of John Locke. Remember I told you a couple of weeks ago, John Locke believed in life, liberty, and property. Thomas Jefferson is going to take that philosophy of John Locke, incorporate it into the Declaration of Independence. We believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The differences between the Americans and England are becoming so much more impossible that it reaches a point, can't we all just get along by the time 1776 rolls around? No, guys, we can't just get along, okay? For these reasons and more, in 1776, we declare our independence from England, the Declaration of Independence. The Battle of David versus Goliath begins, and if you're smart, the smart money is going to be on David. I'm just saying, guys. Thanks a lot. That's it.